Well, it's February the 15th, and I guess on the Saturday the 13th, we had a little bit of disruption there. I had a couple of kind of crazy videos because I'd made one, and then all of a sudden, they had this lady who was apparently from Washington, a Republican, actually put out this information, and that created a disruption. They were going to go for witnesses, and so I create a second video based on the new information that the thing was going to get delayed, went off about my business, and then later that day I found, oh, they're in the final arguments now, I'm just about ready to vote. So I put a little note there finally, but I don't know. Anyway, to clear things up. So I guess what it comes down to on that subject is that the Democrats ultimately didn't want a protracted battle over this because I think it was getting in the way of passing their big stimulus bill and other things. And I think also, I think there's some witnesses that they don't want to get called as much as there are probably ones the Republicans don't want to get called. So I think they ultimately decided that just go ahead and stipulate what you said, put it in the record, and go ahead and vote. And I guess that solidified our two remaining Wildcat Republican senators to vote for conviction. That's Cassidy, I guess, and this big surprise was Burr. But again, Burr, after all, isn't running for re-election. He's the guy that had the insider trading issue and got a lot of things on that. And Cassidy, I guess, is just sort of spun around the axle about all the issues and everything. And he's not for re-election to 2026. So anyway, so that's kind of that. We've got Trump acquitted, which is good. We'll have to go on from there and see where we go. I didn't see any gain in having Republicans convict Trump. That is just really not a good thing. And actually, the charge itself was bogus as can be. There was no insurrection, so the whole idea is kind of way overblown. So going on for that, I guess we're having a pretty serious winter here right now. I'm in the middle of a power failure, so I'm just making this recording and waiting to see if the power comes on so we can upload it. I'm not sure exactly how long this is going to last. I've heard the term rolling blackouts, but I don't know exactly what the cycle is on that. Let's get on to some other issues here. I guess going forward, I think the main thing I see on the political front is that we need to try to get the Republican Party back together and unify. This whole issue of beating up on everybody, I think McConnell made a big mistake going into his speech. I mean, I think he did a good job of getting the thing acquitted, but he doesn't have to say anything more about it. I mean, the fact of the matter is that there really was some election irregularities that are fairly serious, and some of the election laws need to be straightened out. We need to have the voter rolls cleaned up of people that have died or moved out of the states and so forth before the elections so people can have more confidence in them. And we have to watch out. The things that are going on with mail-in ballots seem a little strange too. Now, what the fair thing to do on that is another question, but it seems like clear verification of who's submitting the ballot is kind of important. And that's the sort of thing you have to look at on that. So anyhow, that's about it on that. We're going off into a lot of other issues. I understand there's a big deal going on about Governor Cuomo in New York and the people they put into the nursing homes that still were infected with COVID and caused a lot of extra deaths that were unnecessary. I mean, in general, I think that the Democrat states have handled this thing pretty badly overall. I'm not sure anybody knew quite how to handle something like this, where you have a disease that's probably seems to be about as infectious as a common cold and about 4 or 5 times more lethal than the flu, which, and it seems to be selective against a certain subset of the population, particularly the elderly and people with certain conditions. So, there you have it on that, and we'll have to see. I understand that we're still kind of waiting to see what happens on the on the stimulus bill, I mean, I guess they'll get back to working on that, although this situation overall is a little bit iffy. I think one issue is that it doesn't seem that the increase in the minimum wage fits into a reconciliation bill, because it's really a change in the law. It's not a spending issue. So, and I'm not sure exactly what defines this so-called Byrd rule, but that's going to be a factor. I think that one thing I've run into an article the other day on this Democrat Senator Sinema from Arizona, is that she has a certain attitude that I was totally not expecting. I was expecting a young Democrat senator to be pretty much left-wing and non-traditionalist. But in reality, it appears that she's against ending the filibuster, that she isn't really just joking about that. And that gives Joe Manchin a little bit of a backup. And there could be a few other people, too, for a variety of reasons. After all, in a 50-50 Senate, these kind of rules give each senator a lot of power, and that's that's a question. They want to give that up for the cause, or do they want to, or do they even believe in the cause, really? That's another issue you have to look at and see how it goes. So that's kind of about where we are now. I just wanted to explain yesterday what had happened. It was where I was when it happened. I thought I knew the facts at the time, and all of a sudden the facts changed very rapidly. So if you like these videos, please subscribe and give me a like. Any comments are appreciated. All for now.